everyone. I'm here with Brian Wheeler, head of PvP design. We're going to talk about the Elder Scrolls Online a little bit.
The main story is that Molag Bal, who's a big bad demon, has basically ripped your soul out. He killed you, and then now he has your soul, and you want to get it back. Because we have 3 alliances, in the journey of going through to get your soul back, there's a different story per alliance. So in Aldmeri, Dominion, there's one story that you're going through. In Ebonheart Pact and in Daggerfall Covenant, there's different stories that you're going to go through. All of this is in recovery of getting your soul back, but each of them have a different flavor. So it's great to get that feel of, in an MMO space with different alliances, you're still trying to be the hero, but being the hero is different for each different alliance.
Right. Since you are head of PvP, let's start with some PvP questions. Sure. Right off the bat, how does PvP work with the game?
It's a broad one. Basically, there's Cyrodiil, which is in our timeline. It's a huge area that is basically wrought in civil war. So there's 3 alliances that fight each other in that space. Imperial City is up for grabs. There's no emperor during this time frame. And there's also these structures that you played in Oblivion that are keeps and farms and local areas that we wanted to give you the opportunity to capture them. So we went ahead and in our timeline, that's obviously way earlier than in Oblivion, we made those structures that you could actually fight over, take and hold, and use siege weaponry to take these keeps. And the more you hold, the more alliance bonuses you get for your team.
Perfect. And so there's 3 factions that are competing for this one area. And you were mentioning earlier, it's not called the king, but it's called, what's
the Emperor? Right. There's certain keeps, if you take them, then you can actually become the emperor if you're on top of a certain leaderboard. We're not going to give too much information about how you get on that leaderboard, but there is a system where you can actually become one of the emperor.
The emperor. So then you're the emperor of the whole game. Everyone's going to know who you are. No.
Right. There's a emperor per side, I guess is the best. There's an emperor, but you're not going to be like, you're the emperor and I'm the emperor and we're both for Aldmeri. There's 3 different alliances that are all trying to become the emperor.
Okay.
So it's not like there can be 5 emperors at once or anything like that.
Yeah. So then when there is an emperor, everyone's trying to battle
to help defend that person as
help
the
defend.
emperor.
Yeah.
Right.
Then everyone that's trying and everyone battling them is trying to become the next emperor.
Yes. So the other 2 alliances are trying to wrestle that away from the other alliance, which does have an emperor.
And how many people are going to be in a PvP match or a PvP?
Well, we want lots and lots. I'd say 200 some people on your screen at once fighting each other at a keep. But we want as many people as possible playing in Cyrodiil until the server goes, I can't handle it anymore, obviously. But we want large scale, thousands of people playing at once, and up to 200 some people on your screen at once fighting. So we're going big with this.
Going big. Go big or go home. Now, if the MMO aspect was taken away from Elder Scrolls Online, would it still be an enjoyable first-person experience, or does it need the whole massive world for that?
For the PvP, obviously, we need player versus player, but the story itself and what we want to do is make a good RPG first. We got to make sure that the combat's great, that the story is good, that the interaction with the NPCs in the world is great. So if you take away the MMO aspect, you do lose the player versus player portion of it. But we definitely set out to make a very strong RPG game.
Okay. So a single player, someone that doesn't like to necessarily group up with people, they'll still be able to enjoy the game all the way through.
They can have a good time, and they can do it 3 times, 1 for each alliance. Yeah.
Perfect. This was an interesting question, but can you slaughter an entire village?
There are places where you can run around and take out a village if it's full of enemies.
Right.
But in your own alliance, you're not going to be able to take out, like, if there was somebody who was giving you a quest, you can't kill that person. There's a little bit more team-based type of feeling in our game. So you can't necessarily take out a village that has people giving you quests, but they may send you to take out a whole village that's full of enemies. So in a sense, there are some villages you can wipe out and others you can't.
Yeah, I know. People always are like, well, it's not a true, like, if it's, the MMORPG is trying to simulate, like, real life where you can just go kill anyone you want, but you wouldn't want to, like, if you're going to give a quest on them, like, what's the point of
killing the person?
Killing the whole town, the towns, like...
It does help with the reinforcement that you are fighting for an alliance in this game. In Elder Scrolls Online, like I said, you have one of 3 alliances you're associated with. So you don't necessarily want to feel like you just got this quest from a sergeant who's asking you to burn down some enemy ballistas. You're like, well, no, I'm going to kill you instead.
Yeah.
We really want to get you the sense of you're part of a team and you're part of a greater force than just, I can just kill anything.
This morning we had a quest where we could either choose between defending a fort or defending the docks. So based on the different, I chose actually this morning to defend the docks. Now, if I were to defend the fort, or I'm sure there's our quests where you have two different choices,
Right.
three different choices. Does that affect the whole game, or is it just like a little certain quest sequence? Or explain that.
It affects how the game reacts to you whenever you go back to that location. So there may be a situation where you're supposed to choose to kill somebody or not kill somebody. If you choose to kill them, whenever you go back to that area, they're going to be dead, and all the NPCs are going to remember that you'll be dead. Now, I may choose not to kill that person. For me, they may not appear that way. So it's definitely tailored to your experience when you're playing that game, where the choices you make are going to stick with you no matter what you do in the whole game.
We have a couple questions from our forums, from our audience. So when you kill someone, are you able to loot their stuff?
As much as I would love for that to happen, no, you can't take their stuff from them. We feel that it's important that the stuff you earn is yours and can't be taken away from you.
Yeah.
You do get something from killing players. You get alliance points, experience, and you'll be able to use those alliance points to buy things. And obviously, you're earning experience. You can level up by PvP. So you can't necessarily take their stuff, but you do get to progress your character by fighting other players.
Perfect. In terms of, you mentioned earlier, like lower level characters are able to enter PvP. Now, let's say there's a level 50 character there.
Right.
How do you balance that out?
The level 10 guy can take on a 50 or 15, 20, 30. They get their hit points bumped up and the damage that they do gets increased, but they're not going to have the abilities that a level 50 has,
Right.
the armor that a level 50 person has, or any of the perks. So the balance there is just a matter of we can make the level 10 kind of be able to fight a level 50. He may get lucky and take one out, or he or she may get lucky and catch them in a bad swing of things. There's also siege weaponry they can use, so that is also a way that they can still get into PvP and still be affected by. They may not be able to kill somebody straight up one-on-one, but at
Right.
least they can use siege weaponry and maybe call on a couple of their other level 10 buddies to take them down.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily going to negate the fact that you earned level 50, you got all these abilities, and you got this armor. We don't want to take that achievement
Right,
away
yeah.
from people. So a level 10 can get out there, and if it's like 4 or 5 level 10s, we may be able to take out a 50.
Yeah. So at least the level 10 can go in there, compete, like have a little PvP action.
Yeah.
Even if they're not, they have to find somebody that's the same level as them.
Right. It's like even if they can't wipe the floor with a level 50, they'll at least be able to fight them. Feel like, hey,
Put up
that
a good battle.
That was a good fight. Hey, maybe I got some of my buddies, and we'll go out there and take them out.
Yeah.
But I think the siege weaponry really comes into play there. So you can set up a treb and take down a keep, and you don't even need to worry about being a high-level person to do that. So that's really cool.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Brian.
Sure.
And we do look forward to playing the Elder Scrolls Online
So do I.
soon.